Hi there, thank you for joining me on FernCrafts. I'm Christine and I welcome you to my channel. Today I wanted to do a video on how to repot Catasetum-type orchid. And the reason I say that is because this one is not a Catasetum, it's a Chloesia, and but it would be the same process. So this is a Chloesia Eunice Bragg, and what I had shown this orchid to you, or the pseudobulb rather, a few videos ago, where it was just the pseudobulb while I was repotting the orchid itself, that it fell off, and I thought instead of just getting rid of it, I will just see if it would regrow, and it did. So at the point it was just starting to grow, and now so I stuck it in this pot with laca beads in it, and I didn't really know how to lay it down because the shoot was starting to grow from the midsection of the pseudobulb. So let me just pick it up so I can explain that to you. And it looks like that laca bead is attached. So yeah, it was growing like this, like half off, and I would have expected it to grow from the bottom, but it didn't. And so I was a little unsure as to how to repot it, because I didn't want to pot it up till here and then have the rest of the pseudobulb rot, or so I thought. So yeah, it's put out a lot of new roots, and all I did was just kind of lay it on top there, and as you can see, it's attached itself to some of the beads. And I have in here some Spagna Moss and mostly the beads on top. But lately I've noticed, like if you look close, that the ends, the root tips are drying out because it's not really in a wet medium, which it does like. So I thought this is a good time to repot it because it's still in its growing stage and hasn't started to go dormant as yet. So I thought I would do it now, so it'll be easier for next year, hopefully, when it starts to come out of dormancy. So I've got myself a pot here, which is basically a food container that I've washed very carefully and sterilized it basically, and then I've just put in some holes on the bottom for drainage. What I was using for to make the holes is a skewer, so it was kind of small, so I kind of did like a random pattern there, but yeah, just enough for drainage. And you'll notice that I didn't put any on the sides, as most orchid pots do have. The reason is because I think it likes to be in a moist medium, and so if I did do the holes on the side, it may have too much ventilation and dry out too fast. So I'm trying this out, and let's see how it goes. The other thing I have is, of course, Spagna Moss, because I do want to pot her up into Spagna Moss. It holds moisture very well, and this is just a handful that I've put in here. The moss I'm using is the Better Grow. I got it in a pack like this, and I believe they have it at Home Depot or other places that you can get. And a handful of moss, and as most of you know, the moss will expand almost 3 or 4 times its size. So I am wetting the moss completely, and then I'm going to squeeze out all of the excess water in it, so it'll be a moist medium. The last thing I'm going to be using in this repotting is some fertilizer, and this is an all-purpose fertilizer, and basically it's just beads, which I'll show you when I take it out. So let me just put the camera down, get the Spagna Moss ready, and measure out the fertilizer, and I'm probably just going to put in a little bit and mix it in with the medium, so that every time when the medium is wet, it'll get its fill of fertilizer as well, because these like to be highly fertilized until they start to go dormant. So I'm not going to throw in too much, but mostly on the top where I can you know, kind of monitor them as well. So let's get started. I'm just gonna completely wet the sphagnum moss and then squeeze it out, and I'll show you. Okay, and then just one more thing about the fertilizer. Depending on what you have on hand, I have here, like I showed you, the all-purpose fertilizer, which is this one here. And I also have a shake and feed, and this is a 10-16-10 Miracle Grow, and it has the beads. And you know, after looking at this, this looks like it'll dissolve more readily while watering, and this will take it. This is more of a slow release fertilizer. Actually, it says it right there. It says slow release plant food. So I'm going to go with this because that is what I want. I want it to have a slow release with each watering, because I will be supplementing with my weekly solution as well. And weekly is just a week solution of fertilizer on a weekly basis. So yeah, just to let you know, I'm not going to be using the all-purpose fertilizer, not this time, and it will be these slow release beads. And I have here, let me just put that in here, about a teaspoon, okay? Not too much, it's about a teaspoon. So that's good enough, and I can just sprinkle it right on top. So just an adjustment there. And then here I have the sphagnum moss that I've wringed out, so it's just moist and it's not dripping wet or anything. And I just wanted to make sure that it was enough, so I just tried it in the pot and it looks like it's enough. It doesn't completely fill it up, which is fine. I don't want to do that either. So to start off with, I'm sorry I don't have an assistant to hold my camera for me today, so I'm going to have to do this in parts, and I hope you'll bear with me. I'm just going to take the pseudobulb outside, and I'll leave it there for a bit. And on the bottom, I'm going to use some of these hydrogen balls and just put it in there so that it'll cause, give a little bit more drainage on the bottom. And there's nothing wrong with this medium as far as the medium itself. It's just that it wasn't attached, it wasn't in the medium enough for the roots to grow deep, and they were drying out. So I needed something a little more moist. Sorry for all of this extra noise that you're hearing. Okay, so I do have some sphagnum moss on the bottom of that too, but anyways, I don't want to use that. And then what I'm going to do is I will put in some more of the sphagnum moss, just a little bit on the top. And now I do want to start burying the pseudobulb in, just because it has a better chance that way. You have to be careful not to damage the roots. So you can see, if I can try and give you a close-up like that. So partially buried in there, and now I'm just going to backfill with sphagnum moss all the way around, and I'll get back to you. And I want to make it as compact as possible, so that it has good contact, the roots have good contact with the sphagnum moss. And yeah, let me do that and I'll be right back. So just before I go ahead and fill in any more of the sphagnum moss, I'm going to drop in this fertilizer. Just I may not use all of it because it looks like, well, that's okay. That's okay. We'll see how it goes. And I'll just put it onto the sphagnum moss so that the roots will feed off of it. And just to add more sphagnum moss, let me try and do this while I'm holding the camera. And you have to be gentle but firm at the same time, because you want the roots to have good contact with the sphagnum moss. but not so hard that you would break the roots, because then it'll really set back the orchid. Okay, and yeah, now I need to use both hands. So let me just get off camera and I will do the rest. And there you go, folks. It's already repotted, and I will keep you updated. So yes, once you put in the sphagnum moss, just make sure you can press it down and tighten up the sphagnum moss around the pseudobulb, and that's what I've done. And last but not least, don't forget to put back your tag. It's very important because you want to know what the orchid is. Okay, so as far as care for this orchid now, going forward, it will be just to make sure that the sphagnum moss is always moist, and I will keep doing that until I see that the orchid is starting to go into its dormant stage, which means the leaves will start to yellow and fall off, and it slows down in its growth as well. So then I will just slow down with my fertilizing, watering, and gradually bring it to a standstill where I'm not watering at all. So once my orchids, once these Catasetum-type orchids go into dormancy, I will do an update so you'll know what to do next. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And do check us out on Facebook. We have a lovely group called FernCrafts, Love of Orchids. And there has been a lot of activity lately with people asking some questions. And I really appreciate those that jump in and answer those questions, because yeah, we all learn from each other, and it's a great community. Thank you for posting your pictures there as well. So if you haven't done so, do come and join us here on YouTube. Subscribe, you'll be the first to know when I upload a video. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, enjoy your orchids. Bye bye.